Hey, have you ever heard of a company that survived while its competitors went bankrupt, only to then turn around and start cutting its own team? Well, that's exactly what's happening right now at Redwood Materials, and it's a story worth paying close attention to. So let's break this down. Redwood Materials is a battery recycling startup founded by J.B. Straubel, and if that name sounds familiar, it should. Straubel is one of the co-founders of Tesla. After leaving Tesla back in 2019, he poured his energy into Redwood Materials with a pretty ambitious mission to build a fully integrated, cost-effective critical materials and energy storage business right here in the United States. The company has been seen as one of the more promising players in the clean energy supply chain space, and it's attracted serious attention and serious investment dollars over the years. But right now, Redwood is going through some significant turbulence. The company has just lost its chief operating officer, along with two other executives, and this is happening in the middle of a broader wave of layoffs and restructuring across the organization. Now, the three executives who departed, Mayhew, Urquiza, and Lozano, haven't publicly commented on their exits. And Redwood itself isn't going into specific detail about why they left. But here's where it gets really interesting. J.B. Straubel sent out an all-staff email to his employees, and the message was pretty candid. He said that parts of the company have, in his words, expanded faster than needed. Think about that for a second. This is the founder essentially admitting that the company grew too quickly, maybe took on too many layers of management, and now it's time to course correct. He specifically said he's trying to reduce those layers of management, which in plain English means, we hired a lot of people, and now we need to streamline. And look, this isn't a situation unique to Redwood. We've seen this pattern play out across the startup world, especially in the clean energy and electric vehicle space. When the EV boom was roaring, money was flowing, companies were scaling fast, hiring aggressively, and setting up big organizational structures. But the market has shifted. Interest rates went up, EV adoption slowed a bit from those sky-high projections, and suddenly a lot of companies found themselves overextended. Straubel even acknowledged this directly in his email, saying, and this is a quote, "We have successfully adapted to changes in the market that have bankrupted many of our competitors." That's a pretty bold statement, but it's also true. Several battery and clean energy startups have genuinely gone under in the past couple of years. So in some ways, Straubel is framing this restructuring not as a failure, but as a strategic pivot. He said again, directly, we are confident that we can deliver on our critical projects with a smaller team that is more focused. That's the classic startup survival playbook: trim the fat, get leaner, move faster. And he added that he is more excited than ever about the path forward as they work to become the most integrated critical materials business in the world. Whether you take that optimism at face value or rid it as necessary morale management is kind of up to you. But losing your COO is never a small thing. The COO is essentially the person who keeps the engine running day to day. Combined with the layoffs and the departure of two other named executives, this is a meaningful shakeup, not a minor adjustment. What this really tells us is that even the most well-connected, well-funded clean energy startups are not immune to the brutal reality of market forces. And the question now is, can Redwood Materials truly do more with less, or is this just the beginning of deeper problems ahead?